We'll start with a couple little flows. So if I'm in Matt's guard, okay, I'm just going to start off framing up into his ribs, elbows into the top of the quads. I'm going to put the knee onto the tailbone through here. I'm going to step back and then turn your hips, almost like I'm trying to look over my left shoulder. Don't look over your left shoulder, but turn your hips like you were going to. And that's what's going to be pushing my hip into his ankles. We're going to slide up to the inner thigh, push that leg down. I like to go into the Heisman. I like to push forward, get him with that high knee up in the air through here. Now take the back leg. We're going to slide it up, keep your staple, drop your elbow, make our back step, replace. When your hand is in, pull, 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 and then replace your hand with your foot. Lean into the high shoulder so that as soon as I make my go around, I want to be directly into our head arm choke. Then through here, make your gable, pinch on the top of his shoulder, sink your hips, and get your choke. Now, as soon as I release through here, now he's just going to hit an upa. And now it's his turn into the same position. So he frames, puts his wedge in, creates a space, gets his Heisman. Through here, we're going to go into the dive. You're going to take that top leg, pull it to you, and replace your hand. Right here, he's already got my arm trapped. So by the time we're leveled out, he's already got me into the trap. Sink and squeeze. Then through here, I can come in, trap, and then we just go around and around. All right, start fighters. 1, 2, 3. The same flow, we're just gonna change the sub at the end. So I go into my staple, I go into my dive, I hook. So now, as I go here, and as this arm goes over his head, I'm gonna switch it. So instead of being here and trying to hook, okay, there's a lot of cases that when I go here, he'll start to kind of roll with me. So all I'm gonna do is switch and take him to the other side, okay? So when I make that switch, I go here, I'm gonna pull this one in. Remember, no self-respecting grappler is gonna give you the gift wrap. They're always gonna try to keep that hand away from you. So keep it away, don't let me have it. So then as soon as he goes to the other side, if I just lean my chest in on his and take his hand the other way. So as soon as I make my dive, I'm in, go into my move. Right here, his hips are being flattened out. So when I go here, switch him to the other side, there's my gift wrap. If he doesn't want it, he's not gonna let you have the hand. And then just switch the hand to the opposite side. Then we go into our high elbow, right? On the high elbow, biggest part is the elbow, and what's the name imply? Elbow's high. If the elbow's low in your chest, it's not there. If the elbow is high, I like it to be roughly about at my chin. If I get that, at that point in time, I know you're pretty much done. I just lean my chest in and pull the hand like I'm pulling it to my pocket. All right, let's get 1, 2, 3. When you go into your staple, I'm just going to warn you, this one is not nice. So again, as we're doing different techniques, you always have to know and remember who is it you're going with. Just like when you're around different friends. You have different friends that are wild, and you have different friends that are conservative, and you tell different jokes to different groups. This is one of those wild ones. So, you know, it's really small. It doesn't really take a whole lot. Just be careful though when you do it. So I make that break, and I come in and I throw my Heisman. Now normally I'll come in and I like to put the shin on the inside because that's an actual control, okay? But every once in a while, you know, just for whatever reason, I can't really make it to the inside. So I'm looking at the inside of that calf. And again, this is not nice and it's not friendly. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna put my leg on the inside. Okay, how's that feel, man?
Not good.
That's not good. And through here, I am shin on shin. Okay, this is not good for him. There's his toes. So this is it's one of my own opinions when it comes to, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the fights where people throw a kick and then they break their leg, and when they go to step, I mean, that leg just flops like crazy. If you watch almost all of them, the kick is almost always thrown the same way. Very rarely is it coming in where it's hitting top of the shin. It's almost always toes coming up, and it's catching the leg on the inside, where you're getting the outer edge of the tibia, and then you're getting the fibula on the inside. You're not designed to take pressure in this direction. And so there's a lot of legal things that we can do that are not nice, that no referee's ever going to call me on it. You know, there's short little pieces, like right now I'm placing a stable. The reality is that could be a very hard shin and knee going through his hip and groin. So when I pin him down through here, then when I slide to the outside, right now it's still being very nice, okay? And then as we start to lean and put that weight on it, okay, that becomes very unnice. Now I can come in and start to go into baseball slides, you know, or again, thinking about it just from a little quick standpoint of, you know, we make a difference. There's like level 1, that's drilling, no resistance. Level 2, resistance, but we're just kind of flowing. Nobody's really trying to like really bash on each other too heavy. And then the last level is the parking lot, okay? And ultimately speaking, I mean, this is the kind of stuff I'd be doing at the last 2 levels. You know, highly competitive match that even through here, when it comes in and it touches, it's going to be a quick little staple. And then at that point in time, if I then read, who cares? I'm still going to get a little pinch on that leg. So through here, I'm going to go in, put my hand down, or my capture his toes. Through here, drive your shin and pick up the toes. Now notice, as I'm making my staple, get used to just the way we move. Pin and replace, pin and replace, pin and replace. Pin, replace. Pin, replace, and back.
Is that considered a toe hold?
Huh?
Is that considered a toe hold?
No.
That was
Similar pressure.
I was gonna say, like, what's the pressure? I mean, obviously you have shin on shin.
Shin on shin is
When
the
you
damage.
pick up the toe or the toes, I
Just
should say, is it
increases.
contracting the?
No, I'm not going after his ankle at all. What do you tap into, Matt?
I'm tapping to the pressure.
So
Yes.
basically picking up the toes just increases the pressure.
Just
so
increases
it's
the
more
pressure.
Like,
Yep.
is there a stretch for you, Matt? Like when that happens?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a stretch in my ankle, but I'm tapping to the pressure more. Like, I'm not getting there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel the stretch, but you're tapping.
Now, granted though, this is, when it comes to lower body attacks, this is a gray space that's not covered in any rule set. It's not a straight ankle. I mean, I could see how somebody would look at it and go, well, that's a toe hold. I could see that.
It's a somewhat similar motion.
And so ultimately speaking, anytime you play the gray space, you gotta be careful. But like I was telling everybody, if you and I are in the parking lot, or let's say, I mean, you're doing like an ADCC or something of that nature, nobody cares. It's all good in the hood. I mean, because at that point, it's all legal. And if I'm in the parking lot, I don't care about a piece of paper anyway. That piece of paper is not gonna keep me safe. But you get in, staple, capture, okay, release, we go back, and then go back into your posture. All right, let's play that. When we're going at lower paces, we're being very polite, and then as you start going up and going into your competitive edges, the game changes. The moves don't change, just the intensity of the movement and what it's designed to do changes in the process. So again, I'm going to be in, gain my frame. So through here, I'm going to place my wedge, okay? I'm going to step back, only this time now, when his hips pop, there they go. Now I'm going to bring my lead knee up in the process instead of the rear. So when the lead knee comes up, I still have 2 options. I had the 2 options before in the past, but when the lead knee comes up, I have the same 2 that are there. So the one we're going to do right now is I'm going to take this knee, now that it just came up, And now as I drive in, I'm gonna push that knee to the outside, and then I can immediately go into my dive pass again from here. And then once we do, we can hook the leg. We've already gone over that portion. So again, as I'm in and I'm opening him up, as soon as they break, my knee can come in. If it goes to the outside, as he's turning this way, the gap in the opening for me to make my dive actually becomes bigger, and I can make my step. Second one we're going to do is off the same piece, is I'm going to be in, create my gap, bump, bump, bump. As soon as it comes in, I'm going immediately to the other hip. Through here, this one wants to get the underhook on the arm so that I can make my pass and get my hip to the other side. On any of our slices, okay, the underhook is the requirement. To be honest with you, a lot of people put emphasis on got to collect the other hand, pull it up in the air. Okay, there's two requirements that have to happen. One, I need to get my knee on the inside. I can make my slice, and the other one is I need the underhook. Failure to get the underhook means you're probably going to fail to get the position. The other hand, secondary. Get the first one, and if I can collect the second one, fantastic. If I fail the second one, you know, there's a few things that can happen, but it's minimal at best. The reality is grabbing the underhook on the first. So again, as I'm in, we open, bop, bop, bop. There goes that knee. So right here, I'm already starting to put my hand inside. Now I would love to be able to get this one, but if I can't, I said it's not the end of the world. This is the requirement. This is the one. If I miss this one, okay, then this one becomes irrelevant anyway. If I miss and he gets the underhook, then he's just going to start stinking my back. So always make sure that you know the hierarchy in play. Underhook is first, other one is second. Don't sacrifice the underhook thinking because you're getting the other arm that you're going to do anything special. All right, so play with both. Lead knee this time. As soon as I push back and I feel that break, my lead knee is just going to come up into the gap. And then again through here, when it comes up, if I push in, I can go immediately into my staple variation. And if I push it to the other side, I can go immediately into my knee slide. All right, let's play. 1, 2, 3. The one guard break or with the life that gets underutilized the most, because unfortunately, again, when we talk about the rules of jiu-jitsu, the first set of rules that we go by, they help you learn, okay? But they're training wheels. That's the part we always have to remember. The first rules that we go by are just training wheels in the game. And if you never take the training wheels off, I know I'm gonna break some parts, but you're not training jiu-jitsu. If the training wheels are still in play, okay, you're still riding a kid's bike, and you're not actually getting, okay, the real aspects of it. Remember, I mean, the origins of jiu-jitsu is fighting, not sport. It's fighting. Now, in the rules of jiu-jitsu, if Matt is sitting on his back, what do the rules say I have to do? I have to engage. Okay? But in real life, that is ass backwards. In real life, my getting up and getting away should actually be placed as a higher priority. And I'm going to tell you though that if you do that, you're going to also find that your guard passing will go up as well. Because when I stay in his guard and then I play this really tense game, okay, everything I do, he's right there and can counter everything as I'm going on. But if I spend my initial work to do nothing but don't let him control his guard, don't let him actually create it, push away, back away, and get to a better standing position, hey, you're going to find that your guard passing is going to go up dramatically. Okay? And at the same time, if we say any of this has to do with real life fighting, okay, it also opens up options that didn't ever exist prior to that. Okay? Now, even though the rules of the game say I must engage, they don't say I have to be dumb about it, and they don't say I have to be reckless about it. It just says the ownership's on me. So if I'm in a match, okay, and I'm here, okay, and no referee right now is going to get after me for the game I'm playing right now. And so when I'm here, remember, I have to clear what's in front of me first before I can actually get to mat. The mistake a lot of people make is when they come in, these are the first shield that's in the way, and they try to go beyond the shield, and they start trying, and now unfortunately, I've allowed him to make a connection that he never should have. And so when we start playing the distance game and we're coming in, get rid of the first shields. Don't let them start to make a connection, and if I ever don't like it, okay, this is still engagement in nearly all rules, as long as I'm not running away and looking like I'm becoming very passive. So when we're making our defense, okay, and he's got me locked up, okay, odds are he's not being passive either. He's playing his game. He's looking for opportunities and the like. And so ultimately, unless he's going into a stalling tactic, he's not just clamped on with his legs and holding on for dear life. He's playing the game as much as I'm playing the game. So what I do quite often is I'll be in, trying to control, making him extend. He's moving his hips and the like. Right there, you see it? What just happened to his legs? So what's holding me in place now? Nothing. Okay? But how many people will stay here and still play this super tight game when literally there's nothing holding them in play anymore? And if you start setting that mindset in of whenever you feel those legs part, even if through here, even if I just create a little space, he can't regard now. And if he wants to come get me, he has to actually get closer. And then through here, I can start to play into my up game if I like, okay? Now, while we're here playing, one of the things I found is one of my favorites, especially in no-gi, just because of its simplicity. So when I'm in, I'm trying to create my space. Let's back up a little bit. Okay? So where are Matt's shoulders in relationship to that line? How far away?
6 inches maybe.
6 inches, maybe? Okay? So when I'm here and I'm playing, then when I explode and my hips, where's his shoulders now? Now when I sit down, where's he, where am I? It's a very fast, that was a slow variation. It's a fast pop of my hips to get him to start to move that way. And then when I just sit down, okay, he was back here with me. And so when I push in and I push forward, notice my hands are coming up immediately to the legs, so that now when I sit down, he's over there and my hips are going backwards and I'm creating the gap. Again, the beauty part I like about it though is when I go for it and it fails, I almost never have lost position. I got a free try. You'd be amazed at how many times it does work. Okay, but notice though, when I do it, he has to move. Okay? When I sit up, he has to go forward so that he's moving away, so that when my hips sit back down, we're increasing the gap, which is then increasing the tension in his legs. So as we're here, kind of playing around and the like, when I'm ready, up, and then we sit, and then once we're here, make that collapse. Now the question is, do you move forward? Okay, or the moment, boom, I make that break, do we then stand up and start to play from an outside game? So right now, what I want you to do is create the gap, stand up and back away. Start getting used to using that, okay? And again, it's gonna be a repeat theme. If you're on top and it feels like you're about to get rolled over, in most instances, nothing's holding you there except your desire to keep fighting. And so in a lot of instances, you could have just disengaged rather than get swept. Let them stay on the bottom and play your open game. Okay, so this one, go into your guard break. Okay, let's pop the hips. Again, it's forward. As I go forward, my hands go immediately to the hips and to the knee, so that when I sink and my hips pull back and then pop up. All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.